Welcome back. MLG Anaheim. Maven here with Sharp. How you doing, bud? We could not have picked two bigger people for this couch at all. But thoughts on series? Close one.
Yeah, it was really close, but we ended up pulling out the 3-0. There was the domination. They were up a lot towards the end. We actually brought that back to search and destroy. We won the last 2 rounds, clutched that up, and then Freight Bliss. That's just our bread and butter. So.
Yeah, you guys. I know you made a comment I think during X Games. Basically, if you avoid Freight, that's your guys' map. Ton of gun skill, obviously. So you guys are gonna be facing what, Envy next? Which rematch here? You guys played them at X Games. Any thoughts on that series?
I mean, we played them at X Games. We won 3-1. I'm expecting the same result here. I think we're ready for that. We match up really good against Envy. Should be a good game, though.
All right, well, we have a series coming up. We got Benson and Rambo, ever so handsome, bringing you the next series. Good luck, guys.
Thanks, Maeve. I'm here, as you said, with Rambo. How you doing, buddy? You good?
I'm good, man. It's California. It's always good out here.
It's so nice. The weather is just absolutely wonderful. Speaking of wonderful, that first series, I mean, what a way to kick off MLG Anaheim. It's worth mentioning the first game, the domination game, 3 points. Then, obviously, the search and destroy, 1 round. Then the blitz, 1 point. It couldn't have been more close.
It was a really close game. Both teams back and forth the entire time. We saw crazy plays by both teams, but TK just ended up taking 3-0. I mean, it's annoying to say 3-0 because it's so close.
Yeah, you want to say 3-2, but it wasn't. There's seems to be a European curse when it comes to these MLG events. It's very strange. We've seen them play a really high level at Call of Duty Championships both years, 2013 and 2014, but they come to the MLG events and I'm just curious, what's your perspective on it?
They just never seem to pull through when it matters. They always seem to have this good presence, some strong presence throughout the event, but it always when their moments need to come out and show up for these maps, like at the last minute of the game, they just never seem to show up and always have these little slight mistakes that cost them the map. And when you make those mistakes that often, it makes it
going to add up, right?
Yeah.
It's going to add up. And up next, we have Faze Red going up against the other European powerhouse here, TCM. Now, I don't know. I don't know how to think.
It's a tough call, especially after that first game.
Right, and then I look at it and I think back to the bracket show, which put Puckett and Fwiz and Revan were on, and all their thoughts on the series. Faze Red, you know these guys very well. There's something about them; they don't seem to be clicking as a team. I think that's probably the best way I could explain it. They always seem to just not be gelling. One player will individually be going off, but the others won't be sort of helping out.
Well, it's always hard to stick through as a team when you have these rough times, especially with the amount of Slayers they have on their team.
Right.
If you feel like you're not winning and you feel like you're killing enough, sometimes it's a hard place to be in. So playing TCM team from Europe, I would guess that FaZe Red doesn't really know much about this team, so it's going to be interesting to see how it goes, because normally when these teams play each other like that, when you're not really expecting much, whoever kills most normally comes out on top. So FaZe Red has that going for them, and TCM will have to see if they can handle that.
So the first map is going to be, I believe, Domination on Sovereign.
Okay.
Now, just saying that, where do you see the first map heading? Do you think that favors FaZe a little bit more? As you see, slaying power, TCM, they're going to be regarding probably more like rotation work than that team chemistry to come through a little bit more.
I mean, I like the subs on TCM. We actually had him out of LAN over at the in-house Port Cup Champs.
Yeah.
So I'm very accustomed to those players. Gunch is actually a really strong air as well, so if they need to pull it out. It's going to be interesting to see how they mash up, because FaZe Red has a lot of ARs capability with Classic, Cap. Classic's more of a sub these days, but they have at least 2 or 3 ARs in that team that can come out and play. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes.
Well, I believe the players are just going to be getting ready to get the game underway. They're still in a bit of a free-for-all. You can see the TCM boys on your screen. As you said, you had those guys at the MB house. You know them all very well. You had that little one. Who is going to be the standout player for your perspective in this series?
Marky B, in my opinion. Marky B is that player that he's just that all-around player. If he does well throughout the game, his team normally wins. When he does so, he's got a very good communication level.
Right.
He's really that all-around player. If he shows up in an event, his team does well.
Yeah, he's a bit of a beast, I'm not going to lie. I'm a big Marky B fan myself, but I want to see the Europeans. I know it's going to be biased. I'm European myself, but I just want to see the Europeans kind of break that curse here at MLG. I want to see a team just break through, potentially try and get that top 4 finish, because they have the ability. Speaking to a load of guys said, I'm speaking to Nameless, and he was saying, look, these guys have the ability. Like, they can do it. It's just they just don't. It's infuriating to really watch. And I know, shout out to all the guys from Europe who are staying up late, because obviously the time zone there, they want to see some big performances from these two teams. Obviously, Epsilon there, dropped down into the loser bracket now. Hopes and dreams lying on TCM.
I mean, it's always something, especially at events. It's whoever shows up on the day. And Europeans obviously have to travel a lot. It was the same thing with us when we travel to Europe. It makes that much more difficult with the time change and everything. But at the end of the day, it's no excuse. If you come here to play Call of Duty, I come here and show up and play the best. And if you can take games, you got to take games. And I think it's what it is for Europeans. It's just they have to learn that ability to like actually show up at the end of the games and be able to take that map into their hands when they have it.
Do you think that comes down to, playing a certain amount of tournaments? Is that something which comes with experience of playing the biggest events? Because, I mean, you're a veteran of the scene yourself. You know all about it. You've traveled across to Europe. You went on a dominant year in Modern Warfare 3 where you came over to Europe and won pretty much everything that you played. I mean, how much does that really help as a top player? I
mean, definitely the experience matters, especially when you come to big events like this. You got a big crowd, the fans, everything. It always comes into effect. It's awesome. So, I mean, especially traveling across, I think across the pond makes a big difference, especially for Americans and Europeans as well. Like the time difference is huge, especially out here, and we're in California all the way west. So it's definitely a lot to take in. But like I said, when it comes to game time, you have to close everything out, play your game, and do your best.
Well, the first series was one of the closest games of Call of Duty I've spectated in a very, very long time. Just to recap, if you did miss that, it was TK that got it 3-0, but as you said, Rambo, it feels kind of weird saying 3-0 because it wasn't really that. Yeah, it was just such a close game, a 3-point domination game, a 1-round S&D and a 1-cap blitz, but this is going to be FaZe Red taking on TCM. It's going to be domination on Sovereign. And Ray, who do you want to spectate first?
I believe they're not going to be ready to play.
No, you can. Yeah,
someone's not.
The curse. It always happens. Always happens. It can never be on time. Oh well, they're going to get the game reset and ready. But who is the player that you do want to see straight off the bat?
I would really like to see Petey because he's the new addition to TCM, and I really feel like that fourth player. I mean, he replaced Mad Cat, so Mad Cat's a very hard. I mean, when we went into COD champs, we expected him to do good. At the LAN, we were splitting maps with him, and they were a very strong team. But like we were just talking about, it's all about who shows up. But I feel like if this new player can come in and do a lot of work for this team, I feel like this is a squad that can be very successful. Oh. They have all they require to actually do well. Gunshy's been around since ever. Moose has been around for. Gunshy started playing before I did, and I've been around for a long time. So he's a very strong, experienced player. So he can bring in that experience to the play. He's actually sitting next to him, which is always a good thing to see when you have that new player coming to your team. Right. So I'm really looking forward to how they play. I feel like Search and Destroy is going to be the big thing for TCM. I feel like in respawn game types, playing against these strong slaying American teams is going to be very hard for them. Right. But when it comes to S&D, they can take anything because they have that strong aggressive gameplay, really quick, fast pace, and they can switch it up, which is what's really good about them. So.
Okay. Well, you mentioned obviously Mad Cat was the fourth. It's worth mentioning he is actually here. He's actually playing. He's in the play-in bracket, and he's grinding away. He's actually playing with the boys from Elevate, I believe. So
I didn't know that.
He's having some fun. I've seen him walking around. He's enjoying the MLG event. It's a shame not to see him obviously on the big stage, because as you said, such a fantastic player. I mean, a lot of people consider him to be one of the best in the world, but he's grinding in the play-in bracket.
There's more to it than playing. It's all as it is. There's attitude. There's how you take it. There's so much to it as being a pro player than what everyone sees at the face. It's really everything that goes down behind the scenes. It's really hard to actually see it when you're a spectator and a fan, unless you actually watch the streams and everything. You kind of take into it. But in a general aspect, if you have a good attitude and you're a good player, you're going to be successful.
Words of wisdom from Mr. Rambo. So yeah, if you're an aspiring pro, take notes. That was some good words of wisdom. I like that a lot. But the game is now going to be underway. Everyone in the lobby as well. You said you wanted to check out PT off the break. So let's have a look, see what.
From what I heard from PT, he's a very aggressive sub player. Okay. So he's going to be very interesting to watch. That's what I heard. And he's starting off with a double stun combo. It's going to be interesting to see the strategy they take here. They're starting on, I believe, A side. So double stuns. Normally, when you play with two tacticals at the start of the game, it means you're trying to play a flag really quick. So we're probably going to see a B push here from the green side, trying to stun the caution, which is exactly what they're doing. They're trying to play big gunfights here on B at the start.
No, manages to pick up that first kill. He is going to be challenged from the side and does go down. Meanwhile, Gunshy, who was up top, he gets shut down as well. So off the break, that B flag still being hotly contested, but Marky B picks up a couple of kills in quick succession there. Moose was on the flag. That's a big win coming in from TCM, and I think they may be able to grab this B flag.
That should be B flag. You can see Faze kind of giving up on it. They're going for top control. Might be pushed in A here. Actually, a player does sneak by in Korea, but he gets taken out. So we're seeing Marky B here just control the B domination. They're trying to just make sure they got full control before they push for a 3-cap possibly. But normally on the Sovereign, when you first start off, you want to get a lead before you make anything crazy like that, because the spawns can be very hectic.
Right. As Marky B is slaying around, you can see on that mini-map, the way that Faze rotated around. I believe that was this man, Replays, who's on your screen. He went all the way underground, went straight into TCM's base, hopped on the B flag, has actually capped it, and sadly doesn't pick up that kill. Gunshi picking up a couple of kills in quick succession there for him. Meanwhile, Theory is going to try and make some plays on B, but Replays last man up for Faze, and they're going to lose that B flag once again.
And as we saw here, TCM was actually playing slow on B, and as soon as they started moving, they lost B instantly. But they were able to come back with it, come real quick. So Faze is going to have to go some crazy gunfights here to actually break this really quick if they want to come back and contest this. It's a 6-point lead already.
Replays up top, does connect. That was PT, drops down. That's a second on Moose. That B flag is going to be there, and he does pick up the 3-piece. Replays nicely played. Going to grab the B flag as well for his efforts. Pre-firing corners, doesn't connect. And looking at the scoreboard off the break, it's this man, it's Gunshi, the veteran. You know, you said he's been playing COD longer than you. Currently the most kills in the lobby, 6 and 3. And you seem to be playing a little bit defensively on A, and that was a big kill. He needed to really pick that up. That flag is going to be taken away from him. Moose, meanwhile, has hopped on that B flag and needs a little bit of help from his teammates. He's going to get completely surrounded. Didn't get it neutral. Jumped off it by accident.
There's a 3 cap for Faze.
Trip cap.
Trip cap. That was the biggest kill for Gunshi there. He actually he made the right rotation. His whole team spawned green. He was last one to spawn there and rotated to his home flag, but he wasn't able to win the gunfight as we saw. And that's the difference so far in this game.
Well, as the teams just try and recover from that trip cap, we currently have TCM just with that A flag. Moose pushing that right hand side, goes down once again. And you're seeing lots of kills just being traded. Marky, he's going for the bit of a flank here, Rambo. He's decided he wants to make his way towards C, but you can see immediately
flag, but yeah,
Faze just recognized straight away.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, yeah, he's missing. He's going to be around C.
Great rotation by Faze. He doesn't even get the contest out of it, which is a big blunder.
Huge.
So
really
when you
big.
push the home flag, the big thing is if you can get contest and stay alive and buy your team time to push on the map. But if you just simply get on a flag and die instantly, you don't get anything out of it.
Right.
Your team's kind of like trying to help you out by pushing, but you give up positioning by actually pushing those home flags. You don't make any kind of progress towards B while that's happening. So it's always big to get that contest and try and stay alive as long as you can.
He plays 8 and 5 right now with 2 caps to his name. You see him really pushed quite far forward at A, turns around and sees PD square in the face.
Another one's up there. One of his teammates died on the home flag here, so he's actually trying to make a push towards it as a
Sparky B. So he's just being very patient. I like this play from Replays, to be honest. Just really taking his time, although they don't actually have that.
They don't have that
no!
flag.
Oh, I was going to say that's some sort of trick
that
shot.
Was a Rambo knife right there.
A Rambo knife. Oh, that would have been some style points definitely being awarded to him, but it wasn't to be. PT, well, that's awkward. He just fell off and killed himself. Gunshi, meanwhile, 9 and 9, trying to defend that B flag. Hands up, cleans up 1, but once again.
TCM's doing a good job, though. TCM's been holding 2 for a long part. They just lost B now, but I mean, they're back in this game. It's a 3-point game after we saw that slight 3 cap going, and they're getting B right back here. But as we can see, there's no rotation to the home flag, and that was a huge kill on the minimap. I'm not sure who that was. Replays actually was pushing the home flag, but was taken out. So it's always huge for that first player to rotate to get that kill going for the home flag.
Going into the last 60 seconds now of this first round. It's still Moose on your screen. He's up top, and there are going to be 2 players there. This should be an easy 2-piece for Moose. Cleans up 1. The second is going to be around there. Hipfire cleans up both JCap and Replays. TCM look as if they have now got a little bit of a comfortable control going into this last 50 seconds of this side, and they could build themselves a bit of a lead. And Gucci's actually pushed all the way to C, trying to play for the neutral there. Didn't quite work. Meanwhile, Theory on B flag. He's going to get cleaned up. So, as I said, TCM looking good at the end of this first round.
It's like the 3rd time I've seen someone on TCM kill a member of Faze right before he's about to get a contest. And that's always big. If you can get those kills before they get contests, it's a big thing because it actually helps your team. It releases pressure from your team because they don't have to actually just run towards the flag and force to be get it back. But we're going to pretty much see a 3 or 4 point game here as Faze does get B back towards the end. And it's going to be really about the second side. Actually, for my opinion, the C side, is a better break-off side. So it's really going to be up to, Faze if they can actually hold starting on the A side and maybe try and keep this lead.
Okay, so
Actually,
TCM
1-point game.
going on the preferred side. There he is going to get that cap, and no, he's not even going to get it.
He doesn't get contested.
The last second. 81-78 is the score at the half, and that is in favor of the European team, TCM. Now, the big question, can they hold on? It's a very, very small lead. It's not a lead to really sit back and say, oh, we're comfortable, because, you know, Sovereign's a map where I've seen some crazy spawns.
It'll go back and forth at least 5 or 6 times throughout the map, so it's all about who can hold longer. And we saw a good play from Faze there. I was really kind of, they made a good play on the 3 cap is what I'm trying to say, but they didn't really do anything to hold it. They kind of lost control right after they did that because they weren't playing the corners very, very well. So it's going to be important for Faze to actually, if they make those push to 3 cap, to actually try and hold them longer and play that bargain a bit better than they did last game.
Classic with a big win off the break. That was actually Gunshi, and there's going to be one more
big
player of
doofies.
TCM, but that cap actually already going down. Classic, meanwhile, just trying to pre-fire putting that Oracle mode on so you can try and see through those walls.
And they know that player's on the ground. After
That's
the
an
stuff
easy
through all.
kill.
And
There
great
it
kill.
is.
Great awareness by Classic there to understand that situation. That the only way to players stay alive by not getting those hit markers is by jumping on the ground.
Sadly, can't clean up that third kill in a row, though. JCap, 9 and 14. He's a player you know very, very well, and he's a player I personally love spectating. He seems to always pick up when he really, really needs to. And I'm curious to see if he can try and do the similar thing in this game with domination. There's 2 kills. Whilst we've been on board with him, can he try and make it any more? The problem is he just needs to get a couple of teammates on that B flag. There is Theory, and Theory does go down. JCap does get the neutral. And look how close this game is right now, Ray. It's 94 to 93, and it's been this way the whole time as well.
It's going to be complete back and forth this entire game. And Classic here has a big kill on B, and he does get that kill, so that flag's still contested. It'll give his team a chance to actually move up on the map and maybe clean up the kills. Even though it looks like TCM's going to get this flag, they may be able to counter if they can pick up the kills. The most important kills on this map are always the kills after you get the flag. We see here Moose do exactly that, get a big 2-piece, come on with the flank. It's a huge thing, because if you don't get flags coming off B flag, you normally give it right back. So we saw Moose, he's actually pushed 3.
That spawn.
Yeah.
No, that's exactly what we were
response.
talking about. Wow, Replays has just got the most lucky spawn. That reminds me a little bit of Merc spawn back at the X Games when he was on the opposite side, and Replays is going to pick up that kill. His teammates now spawning on the C flag.
And we see the split spawn here coming in. Actually, his teammates spawn C flag, like you said. So yeah, we're going to see a counter. This is really scary for TCM, because this is where you have to completely commit to a corner flag, and most of the time you're going to have to give up B to actually get a flag back. But TCM is actually killing their way towards C here.
Oh,
so that's
kill.
going to be C flag. Let's see if they can get the kills to hold B, because we're going to see Faze spawn green area. They're pushing straight towards B, and PD here has big kills in front of him. That's a big 2-piece. Can he get the 3-piece?
His
No
teammate
play
actually cleaned up. So
that was a big play by PD.
that was a really strong hold from TCM. To be fair to them, they managed to not give away the B flag, and that's
it's
as you
a tough
said.
situation.
Yeah,
it's a
normally
really
when,
hard situation.
when 4
to come out
players
on
have to
top.
rotate to try and get that home flag, they do end up giving away the B flag, but TCM played that picture perfect. However, one player from Faze has snuck behind. Once again, it's Theory. He's making the play here on the C flag. Someone is going to have to drop back and try and take care of him. 2.5 minutes left.
Gonna have to play contest here.
10-point game right now.
Ooh, he got a call from his teammate. That's actually why he got the pre-fire. Replays gets the kill. Replays actually going for the cap now. He does have a teammate trying to support him, but his teammate does die. And oh yeah, that's a tough play. But his teammate's actually getting on B right. All this happening. Some good plays by Faze.
And A as well.
Strong pressure.
They also managed to
Actually,
grab A.
that's TCM going for A.
Yeah, and now Theory grabs that B flag.
Oh, huge kill.
That's very, very nicely done.
But his teammate actually picks the kill at A, so that means TCM is going to have those corner flags. And like I said, it's the same situation we saw TCM in a second ago. Faze is going to have to go for a corner. And they don't have that much luxury to wait here. They're actually down by 14 points already, so they got to go for something pretty quick here.
And they're also split as well.
It's not good.
Theory is going to have to make some sort of hero play over at C. Connects with one. His teammate gets a spawn there. But you can see TCM immediately jumping on that B flag. Who is this? It's Marky. B doesn't win that gunfight. That was huge. B still actually neutral. It's going to come down to Moose. He needs to charge quickly, but there's a player on his left-hand side. He goes down as well. And it's looking like Faze may grab control of the B flag right at the very end. Replays, if he stays alive here, he could really pick up some points and try and reduce that deficit for Faze.
These are some big kills. And we actually see a player trying to get on B. And actually, TCM had a chance to push the corner flag there, but instead they try to flank through B. Kind of a misplay here, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can actually hold this lead, because they're only up by 13 points with a minute left. If Faze were to hold this 2-cap for the rest of the game, they'd actually come out on top by like a point or two.
Well, it's going to be close. That is for sure. The last 60 seconds. Can TCM hold on? 4 players go down for Faze. And that is going to give TCM license to just jump on that B flag. You see, they don't waste any time there. They know they have all those players down. They're just going to all dive on it. Just try and waste as much time as possible.
It's a big
Faze now.
Faze.
Can they try and
At
get
3
kills?
down.
Oh, they seem to just counted it nicely. Theory.
And that is 4 down. So they actually, I believe they're forced to go for, they have to go for a 3-cap at this point. They have to at least contest their home flag. So we're going to see TCM turtling up in their base here. They're not going to try and leave. They're just going to camp corners in the A area to try and hold this. But everyone on Faze is pretty much forced to go for that push.
Gunsheet cleaned up on the B flag. 29 seconds left. It's a 10-point game, Rambo. Faze desperately trying to make some sort of a play here. There's Classic pushing up on A. There's going to be 3 players in there, and you can see TCM. They're just sitting in all the corners of the A flag. They know that's all they need to do to hold it, and it's looking like TCM may have taken map number 1.
Yeah, it really looks like it. And even then, even if Faze were to kill everyone out of TCM and A, they were going to spawn at C anyway. So
exactly. So
it was a really tough situation to be in. We saw Theory kind of hold the middle of the map to try and rotate back. They did get a good play going. But yeah, we do see TCM Europeans take the first map here. Good play from them.
And you can see the guys in the booth there, TCM, just getting themselves a little bit pumped up. And it's Marky B, who is that kind of hype player for TCM. He's a very loud player. Let's just put it that way. If he isn't in a soundproof booth, everybody in Anaheim would probably hear him. That's how loud he can really be. But a fantastic hold. And, at one point there, it looked as if FaZe could come back, especially with that really lucky spawn that they managed to get as well, spawning over on that C flag. I think it was Replays who got that spawn. But, you know, as you said it perfectly. TCM managed to deal with that situation perfectly when they only had that B flag. They all dedicate themselves to one, and just good rotation all around from them.
You keep talking about that play, though. The one thing I would have loved to see Replays do is go for the full cap. He actually got that spawn. And normally when you get that kind of spawn, it's because your opponents are being really aggressive on your home flag. And he actually just went for the contest. So he's kind of like lingering around there for a little bit, not actually doing much. They lost a few points here and there. It's all it takes on Sovereign. They only lost by 5, and we saw a lot of back and forth. So a point here and there, it makes a big difference.
And the big thing as well, looking at that scoreboard, Rambo, Marky B, 23 and 18, 10 caps. PT, 24 and 23, 9 caps. So those guys just jumping on those flags, as well as that, you know, Moose and Gunshi both had solid games, 23 and 24 kills for them as well. So
both teams, we didn't really see much slaying difference. One thing we talked about before the game is really about if whoever's going to slay out most is mostly going to win. But we saw really close games, and the score tells you the amount of kills that were in the game.
Yet another close game here at MLG Anaheim. And if this tournament carries on this way, there's going to be some nail-biting finishes, that is for sure. But that is going to be game number 1. It goes to TCM. We'll be right back with some Search and Destroy action after this quick commercial break.